If you've been feeling like creating wall art that actually sells is confusing, time consuming, or just overwhelming, you are not alone. But the truth is, it doesn't have to take hours. And that's why today I'm going to show you exactly how to create trending wall art and also how to create the PDF, which is how your customer will receive their download after they order. And the best part, even if you're a complete beginner with no design background, you'll still be able to follow along. Hey there, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Danya, and in just over a year, I grew my shop into the top 1% on Etsy, and I did it while working a full-time job and juggling everyday life. So I know exactly what it feels like to be short on time, but still wanting to build a profitable Etsy shop. So without any further ado, let's get into it. And to get started, we need to find a low competition trending niche. There are multiple ways that you can go about doing that, but to make it a little bit more fast, today I'm going to hop over into my Done For You niche club, and I'm going to click the prior niche drops, and I'm going to go to the week of May 5th because I know what niche I want to do today. And then we're going to go to the first niche of that week, and that is a pancake printable wall art. I think it's really cute and fun, and you can get really creative with this too. The 3 listings I've shown here, they all look different. They all have a pancake theme, but they all look a little different. I'm going to scroll down to the prompt section. I'll copy the prompt, but just a heads up, in the group I do show the members other iterations from multiple AI image generators, but we're going to be working in Canva today. Okay, and now that we are in Canva, I clicked on the far left panel, Canva AI, and I landed here on this page. So from here, I'm going to paste the prompt that I grabbed from my group, and we're going to click create an image, and then we'll land on the AI image generator page. Now I want to change the style of the image, and the really cool thing about Canva, we're given quite a bit of different styles to choose from. I'm going to begin by clicking the smart option, and then I want to change the ratio from 16.9 to 3:4, and then I'll click the purple button to submit, and then I'm going to click the reuse prompt button right here, and I want to try a different style. I'm going to go with ray traced, and then click submit. Okay, and here are the results from the smart style. And it's okay, I don't really love it. It's not bad, it's just not really what I'm looking for. And then we have the one here with the ray traced, which I think is really cute, but I want to try one more iteration to see what else we can get. So I'm going to do the reuse prompt again, come over here to the style, and I want to go with moody, and then I'll click submit. Okay, and these are the results from the moody generation. And if you ever want to know what style you used, you can click right here in your prompt, and it'll show you right here. We have moody and a 3:4 ratio, and I do like it, but I want to run it one more time with moody, so we'll give it another try. Okay, and these come out really good. Now I have to pick my favorite one, and that will be the second one here. We're going to go ahead and work with that one for today. So I'm going to click edit right down here on the bottom right. Okay, we are now on our artboard, and from here you can edit it a number of ways. I'm going to keep it pretty straightforward. So I'm going to click the image, and that'll open up the edit menu. Just a heads up, you can click any of the colors that Canva picks up. You can change it directly from there. I'm just going to show you what that can look like. I'll click the hot pink, and you can see how it changed it. We'll do the yellow, we'll do a blue. So you have different options. You can even change the other colors here, but I'm gonna go back to the original, and I'm gonna click edit, and then I'll come right over here to adjust. And here you can play around with the different levers. Okay, and I'm pretty happy with how that looks. We made it a little bit darker, but also brightened up the pinks and the blues. You can leave it like that. You can add more to it. Feel free to be as creative as you want to be. But one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to upscale the image, and I'm going to come right over here to the far left panel, click apps. And the app that we're going to be using today is called Image Upscaler. If you don't have it, you can come to the search bar and type it in, but I already have it. So I'm going to come right over here to the Your App section, and then click Image Upscaler. And then you'll typically get a little warning from Canva telling you that your image is already in high resolution. I tend to be a little extra. I always upscale my images no matter what, and I'm only going to do it by 2 times. So I'll click the upscale button here, and this will take about 30 to 45 seconds to run. Okay, and we have our upscaled image here. I'm going to click replace, and we are all good to go. Now you'll want to work on creating the different ratios for your wall art, because with wall art, the industry standard is that you offer it in multiple ratios. And to help you with that, I created a free wall art sizing guide for you. That way you can ensure that you have the correct dimensions and the correct sizes for your customer to make sure that you're staying competitive and that you're providing the customers with what they already expect. So if you want to grab your free copy, go ahead and leave the word guide below in the comments, and I'll make sure I get that over to you. Hopping back over into Canva, once you figure out what dimensions you want to offer, you want to come right down here and click the down button, click more, and then click custom size. Going back to my guide, I'm going to do the 3:4 ratio, and the largest dimensions will be 18 inches by 24 inches. Keep in mind, when it comes to wall art and when you're creating your different ratios, you want to create them at the largest option available, and that's why I'm going with 18 by 24 for the 3:4 ratio. I'm going to go back into Canva, and I'm going to change the unit to inches, and then I'll type in 18 by 24 and then click create new page, and that page is measured at 18 by 24. So you can just right click copy, right click on the blank artboard, click paste, and then you would just stretch it out to fit the new page, and you would repeat that process for each of the different ratios that you're offering. After you've created all the ratios that you plan to offer, we now need to download the file. To do that, we're going to click share in the top right, click download, and we're going to change the file type from PNG to JPEG, and then I'll click done and then download. Now that we have that downloaded, we do need to convert the image to be at 300 DPI, which is industry standard. My favorite website to do that, it's completely free, is ConvertTown. I'll leave a link below in the description for you, and I'll also put the name of the website on the screen. Now it will default to 300 DPI, which is perfect. You don't need it any higher, and you definitely don't want it any lower. So now you will click the choose image, and you'll upload each of your designs one by one, and within a matter of seconds you have it saved at 300 DPI. Okay, now the next step will be to mock up our images. I get my mockups either from Creative Fabrica, and I just typed in Canva wall art mockup. They have a ton on here. I would encourage you to maybe give yourself a time limit, maybe 10-15 minutes, because you can go down the rabbit hole very quickly on Creative Fabrica. They have great things on here, different fonts, different graphics. If you want to check out Creative Fabrica for yourself, I'll have a link below for you in the description. You can also get your mockups from Etsy too. Both are great. Both have highly converting mockup images, so you'll do well with either one. But I am actually going to go back to Creative Fabrica, and I will be back with the final results. Okay, and we are back with the design mocked up. I'm very, very picky about mockup images. I'm not really one to throw your design on any old mockup. I think it needs to align with the type of design, which is why I went with a kitchen themed mockup. I got it from Creative Fabrica, but it all ties in very well together. Now we're going to hop over into Google Drive, because that will be the first step that we need to create the PDF to deliver the files to our customer. So I'll meet you over in Google Drive. And the reason why we are in Google Drive is because we need to create the folder that will then give us the link that we can share with our customer. We're going to add that link to the PDF. So over in Google Drive, I'm going to click new, and then I'm going to click new folder. And there you can name it whatever you like. I would highly encourage you to name it what your actual design is. So for me, I'm going to do pancake wall art, and then click create. And now that you have your folder, you can determine how you want to organize the different ratios. Some people will put all the ratios in one folder. Others will have a subfolder for each ratio. It really depends on how you want to do it, but I would recommend making it very simple for the customer. You don't want to overcomplicate it. You don't want to have them messaging you for questions or leaving you a bad review because you didn't organize it properly. So determine a way that would make sense for you, that you can be consistent with. But I am just going to right click here, file, upload, and I'm going to add the design to the Google Drive folder. Make sure that you are uploading the one with the 300 DPI, by the way. Now we're going to click the folder and then click share again, and you will see your email. So make sure that you're using your shop email, and then on the general access, you'll click the little down button right here, and you want to change it from restricted to anyone with the link. And then you want to make sure that they are a viewer. It should default to a viewer, but if it doesn't, make sure you change it back to a viewer. The other options are commenter. We don't need them commenting on any of the files. And the other option would be editor. We definitely don't want them to organize, add, or edit the files. So make sure that we have it on viewer only. And then we'll click copy link, and then we'll click done. Now we're gonna go back into Canva to create the PDF. Okay, and now that we are back in Canva, I'm going to make my way over to the left panel and click create. It doesn't matter what your dimensions are for your PDF. The customer is not downloading the PDF. So I'm gonna keep it pretty straightforward and go with 8.5 by 11.5 inches. And now we have a blank artboard. You should be defaulted to design at the top left, but if you're not, click design and you will land here. Canva has a ton of templates. I am going to type in thank you for your purchase. And you can see here that there are a ton to choose from. Don't overthink it too much. You don't have to reinvent the wheel and make one from scratch. You can take a template and then make your changes that way. So I'm going to pick one that I like, and we're gonna go with this one. I'm not gonna change really much of anything. My goal is to get them to click the link. That way they can get their files. But again, if you want to make your changes, add your own shop branding, your own colors, try not to get too hung up on that. You can always change the PDF later on. So I am going to delete all of that. And we just want to make sure that we have it clear for the customer that that's where they need to click to get access to their files. And if you have social media, definitely add all that in the PDF. Add all the things. You can even do a QR code back to your shop, so they would just scan it and they get back to your shop. If you go that route though, a little tip I like to teach, make sure that you're using your share and save link. That way when they get to your shop using the QR code, that link is already embedded. And so when they purchase something from you, you'll be able to save on the fees. So a little tip from me to you. But now that we have our text here, click here to access your files. You just want to highlight it. You can even only highlight one word if you want. And of course, it won't let me do that right now. There we go. And now that we have that highlighted, I'm going to click right here where it says link. And then here I am going to paste in the Google Drive folder, and then we'll click done. We'll click done again. And there we go. That is it. I do want to bold it. And then when we hover over it, we see that we have the Google Drive there. So I'm going to click it to make sure that we are taking them to the right folder. And there we go. We have our pancake wall art. Okay, now that we have the PDF ready to go, I'm going to come to the top right and click share, download, change the file type from PNG to PDF standard. And you want to make sure that none of those boxes are checked. You definitely don't want to flatten the PDF. If you flatten it, they won't be able to click the link. So make sure that none of those are selected and then click download. And then we have our PDF. I'm going to click it again just to be sure. I told you I'm a little extra, and we are good to go. Learning how to create wall art does not have to be complicated. And now you've seen the exact workflow I use to take a product from idea to a finished PDF that's ready for your customer. If you begin applying these steps, you'll save so much time and you'll have products in your shop that are actually set up to convert. Don't forget to leave the word guide below in the comment section. That way I can send you your free wall art size guide. And if you want to save even more time, check out the link below to join my Done For You Niche Club, where I've done all the research to provide you with low competition niches. I give you AI image prompts and provide you with other resources, so you're never stuck on what to sell. And if you want more personalized one-on-one support, I do offer coaching. You can find the link below to my coaching options. The video on your screen here shows you how I got a sale in my shop in 24 hours of reopening it. So I'll catch you over there. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye.